From J. Bernie Krubb Stadium in Allentown, Pennsylvania, it's the PIAA AAA state semifinal game between Archbishop Wood and Berwick. Currently, Wood will take possession to begin things here, and they will start off at around their own 35 or 36-yard line. I'm Dave Leno alongside Dan Pelberg for this highly touted contest. The winner will go to Hershey and will play either Bishop McDevitt or defending champion Cathedral Prep. And Dan, just looking on paper, it's going to be quite a matchup tonight.
Yeah, another year, another state semifinal berth for both Archbishop Wood and Berwick. Both these teams and coaches are no stranger to this moment, so you can really expect a great game tonight.
Wood in the black uniforms, conversely, Berwick in the road whites. And Wood will start on offense from the 35-yard line. First play is a pitch outside. Clinton will get down just shy of the 40-yard line, and he's a guy that Archbishop Wood and head coach Steve Devlin will definitely call on, already over 800 yards this year.
Yeah, McClinton is really a speedster trying to get to the outside on that first play, and you can really see him trying to use his speed, and we'll see how that works out for Wood tonight.
And for the first play of scrimmage, it's a meager gain of 3 yards, and it will be 2nd and 7 from the 39-yard line. And they stick it on the ground with McClinton. And he gets that around the 45-yard line, just a yard shy of that first down marker at the 46 of Archbishop Wood. On the Berwick side, coached by George Curry, who turned 69 in the squad's last contest in a 44-7 thrashing against Clearfield. Prior to that, in the first round of the playoffs, Berwick beat Bethlehem Catholic by a mere 2 points. So now, 3rd and short here from the 45-yard line for Archbishop Wood. And they commence with a power I formation. Quarterback Garlick will keep it himself, and we'll get a first down on a nifty play.
A little misdirection play right there. Fake handoff to the fullback, and Garlick takes it up the middle for the first down.
And coming into this contest, both coaches have commented that they got to win the ground game, running through the trenches if they want to prevail. They said that's why these two teams are here, also Bishop McDevitt and Cathedral Prep.
Especially on a cold night like tonight, you can't imagine the passing game is going to really be able to air it out, so you got to keep it on the ground.
So let's see if Wood goes through the air for the first time tonight, as they have a first down here. Instead, they get trapped up just shy of midfield again, and there's the Berwick defense. This squad has won national titles in 1992 and 95, and I did not misspeak. National titles, #1 in the country, so this is a highly talented program. Last year lost to Allentown Heights, but trying to get back to the title game this go-around in 2013. Officially no gain on the play, and from midfield it will be 2nd and 10 for Tom Garlick and Archbishop Wood. In motion is Messina moving to the outside, and a pitch to McClinton, but the officials blow it dead, likely a false start called against Archbishop Wood. Our referee tonight is Robert Gramola. And actually they will call a timeout, and they will award it to the Vikings. Archbishop Wood coming in at 12 and 2. Sloan losses on the year. St. Joe's Prep by 10, 31-21, and Archbishop Ryan 22-7. Berwick, conversely, coming in undefeated at 14-0. But Dan, when you get to this stage, records aside, it's a clean slate.
And it's interesting because although Berwick is undefeated, they really had a tough matchup in their first playoff game, only beating Bethlehem Catholic by 2 points, and Archbishop Wood comes in winning both of their playoff games in blowout fashion. So you really wonder if that actually helps Berwick in the sense that they played a close game, where Wood hasn't played a close game in quite some time. So you wonder, getting down the fourth quarter, if this is close, that really might be on Berwick's side.
Yeah, you make a good point about that Bethlehem Catholic game. After quarter number 1, Catholic scored 20 unanswered and actually was leading 20-14 at half, but then Berwick got 15 points on the board in the fourth quarter. Flags on the play here as the ball goes past the 45-yard line on the Berwick side, but there's a penalty marker down, and we'll have to check the call again by Gramola's crew. But when you play in a contest that goes back and forth, it might help you in games like this where there's high pressure on the line.
And again, Wood hasn't played in a game like that in quite some time, and it'll be interesting to see how they handle the pressure here tonight.
Legal procedure penalty will back up Archbishop Wood. They control on offense right now. No score in the game, just under 10 minutes left here. 2 minutes gone by in the first quarter. Again, that other semifinal, Bishop McDevitt and Cathedral Prep, going on simultaneously as this one takes place here at J. Bernie Crum Stadium, actually regarded at one point in its history as the largest football stadium for high schools in Pennsylvania. Not to be the case now. Will be 2nd and 15 officially from the 45. Messina in motion again. Garlick again. Opts to give it to McClinton. And he gets past midfield, still on his feet, across the 30 to the 20, 15, 10-5, and Archbishop Wood on the board first in Allentown.
Although there looks to be a flag on the play, this could come back for holding.
Flag is down all the way near the 45-yard line, and Dan, you called it exactly right. So we will revert back, and the touchdown will be nullified. Nonetheless, even though it doesn't count, for if you're Archbishop Wood and head coach Steve Devlin, you got to like the confidence that play gives you. You saw something there, a little hole in the A-gap.
And you see McClinton, although it's small and speedy, can really break some tackles, and Wood's really controlling the ball right now. That penalty does hurt them, but you can see they're eating up some clock on this first possession.
McClinton is the leader in all-purpose yards on this Vikings squad, so expect him to have a big game tonight. Will be 2nd and 21 officially from the 39-yard line along the right hashes, and Messina will come in for this Vikings offense, moving right to left on your screen. And FHS Network, proud to bring you tonight's PIAA AAA state semifinal game from Allentown. A power I formation here for the Vikings. Garlick on a quarterback keeper. Opts, no, now he gives it to his fullback there, gets to the 50-yard line. Spayet's getting in action so far. The ball will be going on the Berwick side of the field at the 49-yard line.
We'll bring up a 3rd down and 10 for the
3rd and 10 here for Archbishop Wood. Wood bringing in Kendall Singleton and Jake Cooper, dynamic wide receivers. Let's see if they throw the ball here, Dan, at 3rd and 9 from the 49. Got to get to the 40-yard line of Berwick here. Again, a power I formation. 2 wide receivers on the play for Garlick. It's a play-action fake. Garlick
Garlick's pass is complete.
hits his man and across the 35 down to 32-yard line. It will be good for a first down to Stayetz. And Spayetz getting in action. The senior standing at 5'10", 195 pounds.
Wood just running the fullback out in the flat, giving Garlick someone to throw to, just dump it off and see what he can do, and he's able to pick up the first down.
And the first pass play is successful for Coach Devlin's team. And now battling in Bulldog territory.
If Wood is able to make those dump-off passes, it could be a long night for Berwick because Wood can really eat this clock up.
Garlick again under center on 1st and 10. It's a pitch again to McClinton. Trying to get to that 30-yard line again, but disrupted there by that defensive line of the Bulldogs. And it will be 2nd and short to go for Archbishop Wood. But they're controlling here in the first stanza here in Allentown.
They really are, and you can see really how Wood got to this point is really with a big dose of Jared McClinton, just running it right down the middle.
Will be 2nd and 7 from the Berwick 30-yard line. McClinton is in motion, and the give is over to the upman, Messina, and he'll get to at around the 25-yard line. It will be 3rd and short.
Brought down at the 25 by Kowalski.
Kowalski, who brought him down there at a monstrous game for Berwick last week, had a 76-yard interception, ran back for a touchdown, also picked one up at the 1-yard line and ran it back for 99 yards. Kid was all over the place. And he'll be big on offense tonight for the Bulldogs, no question about it. It's 3rd and 2. McClinton opts to go off the edge, and it appears he has the first down just shy of the 20-yard line of Berwick.
And it looked like Jordan Stout got into the backfield and might have been able to make that tackle on McClinton, but again, the elusive speed of McClinton allows him to get to the outside just enough to pick up the first down.
Yeah, Stout will
First down.
indisputably play a critical role today if Berwick does take home this semifinals victory and advance to Hershey next week. It's a guy that plays both ways. A lot of these guys on this, especially when you get to high school ball, a lot of them play both ways. Be first and 10 from the 22. Messina in motion from left to right. And again, an inside handoff to McClendon. He gets to the 20-yard line for just a meager 2-yard gain. Will be 2nd and 8 for Wood.
And what a great drive to open the game by Wood. Already only 6.5 minutes left in this first quarter, and Wood still controlling the ball from the first possession. So Berwick hasn't even had a chance to put their offense on the field, and that's got to be frustrating for them.
Yeah, and it's a cold night here in Allentown. Temperatures just in the early 30s here. A little bit wind, so expect it to be very cold down there on this field here in Allentown, which is a beautiful setup, and the PIAA doing a fabulous job getting this game in after it being postponed yesterday. It's a pitch outside. McClinton again across the 10 to the 5, trying to make one man miss, but dragged down at around the 5-yard line.
And that play was really set up by Josh Messina, the fullback, leading in front of McClinton and picking up a huge block on the linebacker.
It was Kowalski who made the touchdown-saving tackle, but it will set up a 1st and goal nonetheless for Wood, threatening, and as Dan has mentioned, using all this precious time here in quarter number 1. And you're making that offense of the Bulldogs sitting in quarterback C.J. Curry and company. So 1st and goal from the 3-yard line officially for Wood. Garlick again goes to McClinton, runs right up the gut, in for the touchdown. Archbishop Wood strikes first.
And that seemed all too easy for Wood, except for a few penalties, really playing flawless right there on that first drive.
And who else? It's McClinton who gets it done. Keeping it on the ground, we know Garlick can throw the ball, but now if you're Berwick, maybe one thing, Dan, that we may see them make an adjustment is you maybe stack that box with maybe 5, 6, 7 people.
And I wouldn't be surprised to see them stack that box and make Garlick beat him, because you know that McClinton's going to be able to get by you.
McDonald comes on for the extra point. It's up and it's good. And Archbishop Wood with an early 7-0 edge over Berwick, and the Bulldogs will get the football here, and head coach George Curry and his squad 14-0, knows what it's like to come back in action. We documented it in the Bethlehem Catholic game. In Clearfield, they had a rout 44-7. George Curry, the coach of this Bulldogs team, actually the all-time winningest coach in Philadelphia, came back last year to replace Gary Campbell, who went to coach in Massachusetts from that area, went back up there. Curry, who was actually coaching at a Scranton Wilkes-Barre area school, came back to coach, where he did so many wonderful things from 71 to 05, and his grandson will be the maestro on offense, wearing number 7, CJ, the quarterback. CJ's father and also George's son, Kaz Curry, also played nose guard on this Bulldog team as well. McDonald will boot this one away, as we'll see the Bulldogs on offense for the first time tonight. It's Kowalski back deep for Berwick in the white jerseys. And it's taken by the Upmen at around the 26-yard line. Room to work and just shy of the 40-yard line, and that's where the Bulldogs will begin things tonight, coming in at 14-0 in the white jerseys. So you saw a lot. Of running from Archbishop Wood. Conversely here, do you feel like you're going to see the same from this Berwick team?
You got to think, because, again, this cold night, that Berwick's going to want to run the ball. But with C.J. Curry, anything's possible.
And it's a pitch on 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line. And Wood very active off the edge as Stout was running along the left side, and he stopped. No gain on the play, and will be 2nd and 10 from the 40.
No gain on the play. 2nd down and 10.
So on offense with C.J. Curry, look for Kowalski to get involved, the running back with over 15 touchdowns. Stout as well to Lanka, Hallenthal, and through the air, Force, Trenholm, and Mizanki. 2nd and 10 from the 40-yard line. Again, a pitch outside to Kowalski across the 40 and upended at around the 43-yard line. And already we'll see a 3rd and long for Berwick.
And 3rd and long, you think they're going to let C.J. Curry open it up and try to throw it a little bit down the field.
So a couple substitutions coming in for George Curry's team here on 3rd and long from the 43-yard line, as Wood on defense currently in the black jerseys leading this contest 7-0. Curry working under center. Pass is complete. Close to midfield. It's Trenholm. It appears it's going to be a 1st down, and the chains will move. They are going to grant it on 3rd and long, a gain of 8 on the play, and they needed 7.
And a nice 3-step drop by Curry, who, when I saw him warm up, he has a very big body, 6'2", looks to be sort of like a Matt Hasselbeck, you would say, type of body. Really nice tight spiral, and you could see him throw it right there.
This will be 1st and 10 from the 49-yard line of Archbishop Wood, with the Vikings leading 7-0. Stout's the lone man in the backfield. It's a give to him on a nice pitch. And he goes right up his center there, and just a gain of 1 yard on the play will be 2nd and long.
Number 6, Jake Cooper.
Defensive standouts here for Wood. Number 3, Gary is a senior with 2 fumble recoveries this year. Schwartz, and also Dean as well with a fumble recovery. So Archbishop Wood with a very powerful defense. Not a lot of points scored against this team in conference play. But now you have Catholic school battling a high school there who doesn't have the advantage of recruiting to other areas outside its boundaries. Long pass, and it's incomplete there on the near side.
Berwick has called timeout, their first timeout of the first half.
Don't miss any of the action. Tune in on the NFHS Network to watch a replay of tonight's coverage at nfhsnetwork.com. Alongside Dan Pelberg, I'm Dave Leno, high atop the turf here. J. Bernie Crump Stadium in Allentown for a PIAA AAA state semifinals football matchup between the Archbishop Wood Vikings and the Berwick Bulldogs. The Bulldogs here call timeout at currently 4th and 2. And it appears that George Curry's squad is electing to go for it here.
And although this is early in the game, this is a very, very big play with Wood on defense trying to stop Berwick on this 4th down. If they're able to stop them and get the ball back, they can just continue to eat the clock like they did on that first drive.
Wood scored early on in action on a 3-yard burst by McClinton right up the gut. They lead 7-0, and let's see if the Bulldogs can get going here on 4th and 2, just shy of the 40-yard line. It's a give to Stout right up the gut. Check that. It's a quarterback keeper on the read option, and it will go down as a 1st down for Curry. Even faked us out here in the booth.
Yeah, great misdirection play. Curry taking it to the outside, picking up the 1st down.
Nice call there by George Curry, just shy of 70 years old, coaching his grandson there as the quarterback of this team, and some substitutions coming in for both teams as we see Lowen coming in on defense, number 85 for Wood in the black jerseys. But here is Berwick at 2:55 remaining in the first quarter. 7-0 Wood leads, and on 1st down, it's a play-action fake. Through the air. Berwick tries to get on the board, and they do nicely. The Bulldogs strike here in Allentown. Making the catch there for Berwick on a nice play is Trent Force.
And that is just a great touch pass by Curry. The play action gives the linebackers not enough time to retreat on that deep ball. And you can see with C.J. Curry, you can score quickly. So it doesn't seem like Berwick was really worried about that.
Ball was caught by 96, Trent Force.
So Force gets into action here.
For a 32-yard touchdown.
Force, the junior, standing at 6 feet tall. Here's Sealy, Olivia Sealy, the female place kicker, on for the extra point, spotted and good. She's been dynamic, the leading point scorer for this Berwick team, and both teams on offense, both teams successful.
And you can see they're successful in different ways. Wood successful running the ball as much as they possibly can on this cold night. And Berwick, conversely, can see that C.J. Curry is still able to throw that ball with that nice touch pass, out in the flat, as well as that touch pass for a touchdown just now.
And that was set up by that masterful play call on that 4th and short there, just beyond midfield on the Wood half. And that was a nice read option play to go outside and set up that nice throw. As you said, those touch passes, you're certainly admiring them. So Wood will come back on offense here, and Tekewicz is back deep with McClinton as well for this Wood squad, and Sealy will boot it away.
Kicking off for Berwick.
For Berwick.
Olivia Sealy.
From the 40-yard line. Taken by the Upman at around the 22.
Ball returned by Spayetz.
Spayetz across midfield. Room to work with. Bounces on the outside. A foot race at the 15, 10, 5. In for the touchdown. Archbishop Wood works some magic off of the kickoff.
And who needs a good offense when you have special teams like that?
And that was a kick to Spayetz, who was playing at around the 25-yard line, and that's exactly where he was, a 75-yard touchdown off of the kickoff by Sealy.
And that's got to be very disheartening to Berwick, coming down the field, scoring on that beautiful throw by Curry, and just to come out and have that kick return for a touchdown has got to really be a dagger.
So here's McDonald on for the extra point. And Archbishop Wood leading by a touchdown, 14-7, with 2:37 left in quarter number 1 in Allentown. That's got to be a shocker if you're George Curry's team. You had a nice offensive drive, and you're going to get the football back. You had a blunder there on special teams, but seeing your offense go the length of the field against Wood has to give you confidence here, only down a touchdown.
It definitely has got to give you confidence, but now that the offense has to come back out on the field after scoring just now, it's a lot to ask, especially against this Wood defense.
And that's a very good point. They're going to have to come out here with a very short rest and get the football back here off of McDonald's right foot, as Archbishop Wood, who lost in the championship last year to Cathedral Prep, trying to get back there again. Lost 24-14, as a matter of fact. Kowalski is back deep once again for the Bulldogs in the white uniforms. And from his own 40-yard line, end over end, very short kick. Fumble on the play, recovered by Archbishop Wood, blown dead. High school rules, once there's a fumble on and a player's down, doesn't matter if he's touched or untouched. So Wood will take control just shy of the 25-yard line at around the 27. And Berwick certainly having a multitude of problems on special teams here.
And another special teams blunder, like you just said, Dave, and that has got to be really disheartening. Again, just as we saw this kick return for a touchdown just now, Berwick fumbles the ball, and Wood already has the ball right in their territory.
So Wood up a touchdown. Will send Tom Garlick, the sophomore QB, back onto the field. It'll be 1st and 10 for the 27. McClinton tries to make a spin move to the outside. Shut down, however. Just shy of the 25-yard line to the 26. Making the nice tackle there was Mzanki. Also plays wide receiver for this Berwick club.
And if you're Berwick, you got to hope you can stop Wood right here and not let them blow this game open, because in the past 2 games in the playoffs, Wood has really blown games wide open very early, and you've got to realize if you're Berwick, you cannot let that happen.
Will be 2nd and 9 from the 26-yard line. Power I formation again. McClinton tries to bounce to the outside, but not to be the case as Klinger comes in, and there is a penalty marker on the play, however. And let's see what Gramola calls here, and appears to be a holding on Archbishop Wood, and will back up the Vikings. A couple penalties so far on Wood.
And very uncharacteristic for a Steve Devlin team. You don't really expect this many penalties from Wood, especially this early in the game.
Jack Kenny coming in as an offensive lineman. Coming out is Schroger.
Vikings moves the football back to the 36.
Ball will be placed at the 36-yard line as Wood will send in a couple more offensive threats here. In particular, Mark Webb, the sophomore running back coming in, also catches the ball from the outside if needed. So it's second and long from the 36-yard line for Archbishop Wood. They elect to keep it on the ground again, and Messina just gets past the 35 down to the 34-yard line for just a 2-yard gain. Will be third and a very long. This ball will be placed at around the 35-yard line on the Berwick half.
And it'll be interesting to see what Wood decides to do on this third and very long situation. They may just elect to try and run the ball again and pin Berwick back.
Yeah, at this part of the field, it's certainly going to be an interesting call by Steve Devlin. Might be the start of a pattern that we might see when you're around the 35, because a lot of these kickers aren't going to take ones from 40 and attempt a 50-some-yard field goal.
And
it's not
possible. It's possible on this play, depending on this play, this may be 4-down territory.
Yeah, we definitely saw that from the Berwick half. Garlick for the shotgun. Has plenty of protection, throws to the outside, and around the 25-yard line, the pass is complete to Singleton. Well shy of the first down marker, as that first down marker is at around the 18-yard line. And let's see what Coach Devlin elects to do. I don't see anybody coming on for the punting unit.
And it seemed from that play call, just a simple out pattern, that Devlin knew this was going to be 4-down territory. He ran a simple out, had Garlick throw it on the run, pick up a half of that what you need for that first down, and see if you can get this now on fourth.
Just 5 seconds remaining, and Archbishop Wood will wind down the clock. And at the end of the first quarter here in Allentown, it's Archbishop Wood leading 14-7, threatening to score over the Bulldogs once more. Tonight's game is available live and on demand. Call and text your family and friends to enjoy the action now at nfhsnetwork.com. End of the first quarter here in Allentown. Again, Wood leading 14-7. Back for the second quarter in just a moment.
You gotta be ready for one thing, to go out here and play a dang violent sport, full speed. Has everybody got me on that?
At a live shot of Pantherville Stadium as we get set for
And we're back here for the second quarter. McDonald will come on to attempt a 42-yard field goal spotted along the left hash. And holding is Max Schwartz, the sophomore, for him. See if McDonald can extend this touchdown advantage for Wood. Kick spotted up, very low kick, and the kick is no good, misses wide left. So Berwick, even though Archbishop Wood came down the length of the field, coming up with a big stop.
And that is very huge to keep this to a one-possession game right now, and allows Berwick's offense and C.J. Curry to get back onto the field and try and drive the ball down again.
With Dan Pelberg, I'm Dave Leno from the J. Bernie Crum Stadium press box here in Allentown, Pennsylvania. Archbishop Wood got things started on a McClinton 3-yard touchdown up the middle. Then Trent Force caught a pass from C.J. Curry to make it 7-7. Spahitz, I beg your pardon, scored a 75-yard touchdown to make it 14-7 Wood, and that's where we stand as Berwick has it here to open things up here in the second quarter, and Curry opts to go through the air, and on the first play gets a 5-yard gain as it goes to the outside, and Trenholm getting involved there outside the numbers for George Curry's squad. So, Dan, a little bit of a dichotomy here. You see Berwick going through the air versus Archbishop Wood keeping it on the ground more often.
And it'll be interesting, as again we said, this cold air tonight you would think would make it a lot harder for C.J. Curry to throw the ball, but it doesn't seem through his first 2 possessions that he's having that much trouble.
Curry this time has Kowalski in the backfield on 2nd and 3 from the 27. Again, pump fakes and is going to throw a deep ball. And not on the same frequency, however, as Berwick staff looking for a flag. And it will come nonetheless as they were trying to hook up with Kyle Trenholm once more, the senior.
And that looks to be defensive holding for sure. The cornerback bit on that pump fake and had nothing they could do except hold the receiver.
You're exactly right. Great call by you. And this will advance Berwick up the field once more as that pump fake really helped out there on that sequence for C.J. Curry.
And cornerbacks are going to have a tough time with Curry back there, not biting on that pump fake. And because Curry can throw the deep ball, they do have to respect that as well.
Curry wearing the number 7 jersey. That actually was instituted as a tradition by George Curry when he was there from 71 to 05. That number 7 reserved for the quarterback spot. So we see his grandson CJ wearing that number here and playing very well this season. Be 1st and 10 from the 36. High snap. Curry gets it back anyhow, and he's knocked down around the 25-yard line. So a little bit of mishap there from the Berwick side, but Curry recovers nonetheless.
And that's got to be a little bit of a sigh of relief to recover that football and not give Wood back the ball in Berwick territory.
It backs up this Berwick team all the way back at its own 25-yard line. 2nd and 21 officially from the 25-yard line this time. And this is where you don't want to be tense if you're the Bulldogs here. A lot of yards to go, and certainly can't cause a turnover as Wood has been stealthy on the defensive side of this end of the field. Curry again through the air. Trying to make the basket catch here on the near side close to the 30-yard line. That time was Trenholm again, but defended beautifully by Krull.
And that was a similar play that we saw in the first quarter. Same result, a drop pass by a Berwick receiver. And if Curry's putting the ball on point, they got to make those plays.
Wood on defense, leading in the black jerseys, 14-7 over Berwick. It's a minute, 35 seconds have gone by here in the second quarter in Allentown as the Bulldogs have a 3rd and very long 21 yards. They must get to the 46-yard line. Curry back to throw again with pressure coming and brought down by Gray. There's Chris Gray, the senior, standing at 6 feet, 205 pounds. A stealthy attacker up there to lead the charge for Wood.
And a very different drive for Berwick this time around. Curry having no time to throw, rolling out. And Wood's able to stop them, and they're going to get good field position when they get the ball back right here.
So coming on the punt is Klinger. Clinton is back deep for Wood. The same can be said with Spayetz. Klinger standing at Arona's 5-yard line. Flag on the play. Clinton will run this back anyhow from his own 42-yard line with Spayetz in front of him and room to work to the near side of the field. Across the 30 to the 20. Down to the 5-yard line, gets tripped up just shy of the goal line at around the 1. We'll have to check the marker here, but I think if this goes against Berwick, this play might stand.
And we'll have to check the flag.
Because if it was an illegal procedure call, you would think that the officials just would have blew it dead. But we'll have to check with Robert Gramola's crew and get the official word here with Archbishop Wood leading by a touchdown. See what happens here. Yeah, it looks like a legal procedure on Berwick, the kicking team. It's declined, and it will be 1st and goal here for Wood. So a good run by McClinton.
And back to that run, McClinton just followed Spayetz all the way across the field. Having that lead blocker in front of him, McClinton is very dangerous on his own, and having a lead blocker in front of him makes him that much more dangerous.
So we'll be 1st and goal from the Berwick 1-yard line, and Wood trying to go up 2 touchdowns here in the second. Backs in the eye, the running back is McClinton. It is a give to McClinton, tries to go up the gut again. appears to be, let's see what the officials rule here, denied just at the half-yard line. Will be second and goal. Pierce there to make the stop for Berwick. Do you go with that play again here?
You got to trust McClellan. He's your workhorse. I wouldn't be surprised to see a pitch to the outside, though. Let him use his speed, even from the 1 yard line, just to get the outside and into the end zone.
8 in the box here for Berwick on second and goal. See if Garlick opts for the QB keeper here, and does. Goes off his left guard, and he's in for the touchdown.
Archbishop Wood.
So Wood coming up with a nice defensive stop, forcing the Bulldogs to punt. Klinger hit one right to McClinton, ran it back all the way to the 1 yard line. And now we see McDonald coming on for the extra point after that 1 yard burst by the QB.
The story of this first half has been special teams, and the lack of special teams by Berwick, and right there by McClinton, the special teams of Wood coming up huge, giving them 1 yard to work with to go to the end zone.
McDonald PAT is good. And with 8:48 remaining in half number 1 in Allentown, it's Archbishop Wood 21, Berwick 7.
And you get the sense that if Berwick doesn't use this next drive to their advantage and put some points on the board, Wood could really blow this game open like they have their past 2 playoff games.
And we mentioned this a few times, but I think it's timely right here that the Bulldogs had to come back against Bethlehem Catholic. And close to this part of the game, Catholic was leading going into halftime 20-14 after 20 unanswered points. So if they can duplicate that game in their minds here and use that fuel how they came back against Catholic, you may see the Bulldogs come back in this one. Certainly don't count them out even though they're down 2 touchdowns. Kowalski is back deep, and the same can be said for Trenholm, as McDonald will kick it away from his own 40-yard line. Berwick will move right to left on your screen here on the NFHS network. Beautiful crowd on hand tonight. Capacity crowd here at J. Bernie Crum Stadium. A very short kick. Klinger will take it at the 30-yard line, blown dead, however. And it appears this will go against the kicking team. And it looks like we're going to get a reach kick here as Wood will be backed up 5 yards. So, Dan, as you've alluded to throughout the first 2 quarters of this broadcast, special teams, a little bit of an issue here. Why do you think that is?
At this point in the season, you can't blame any of this to not being prepared. Both these teams are veteran teams that have been in this position before. It may be nerves. It may be the cold air tonight. It could be a combination of those things.
Yeah, and you're more concentrated on offense, defense. You know, special teams, obviously, you have guys playing not just 2 sides of the ball, but maybe on special teams as well, playing on 3 sides.
And ironically, special teams is often when the game is won or lost.
That's exactly right here, is Wood will kick it away, courtesy of McDonald, on his right foot up 2 touchdowns. And here's Kowalski from the 36-yard line. Across the 40-yard line. Battles his way to the 47 as he pushes away the stud, Chris Gray of Archbishop Wood. And back coming onto the field for the Bulldogs is C.J. Curry and his team, down 21-7 in the white jerseys. They'll operate just shy of midfield, 3 yards to be exact from their own 47-yard line. Andrew Force goes out wide. He's that stud wide receiver. Curry on the read option. No gain on the play.
Brought down by Justin Rubin.
Low in there for the stop. Martin as well in on the action for Archbishop Wood. Will be 2nd and 10 for Berwick. Trenholm lines out to the near side of the field. Force out wide. The Twins to each side of the field. Passing play upcoming, and it's complete here to Simmons. Simmons across midfield at around the 49-yard line and into Viking territory. We'll bring up third and about 5 yards. 6 officially from 47-yard line on the Vikings half. So again, third downs aplenty here for Berwick on offense.
And for the Bulldogs, third downs are a little bit more interesting than with Wood. On a 3rd and 6 with the Vikings having the ball, you can expect a run, but right here, you can really think that Curry is going to be able to open it up.
Curry under center, looks far side of the field, and the pass intended there for force, but knocked away masterfully by Singleton.
Great play by Singleton, just breaking up the pass, and we'll see what Berwick decides to do here.
And with 7:23 remaining in half number 1, down 2 touchdowns and just past midfield, I think you have to punt, and that's exactly what George Curry is going to concur with and send his punting unit on to the field. Klinger back on, and on the opposite end, back deep is McClinton, as well as Spayetz. George Klinger handles the low snap cleanly, and from his left foot, end-over-end kick. Ball bounces out at around the 23. Let's see where the officials mark it. And they'll say 25-yard line, and that's where Archbishop Wood will take over on the offensive end here, up by 2 touchdowns over Berwick. So on the offensive side for the Bulldogs here, you see them not gelling as much as the Vikings. What would you like to see them do to steal a page from the Vikings playbook?
Well, the Bulldogs haven't had really an opportunity to run the ball. Being down 2 scores right now, you don't think that they're going to try and do that. I'd like to see some more pump and goes from C.J. Kerr. We saw the holding penalty.
And that was a good one when he had that.
The defensive penalty, on the Vikings, and him also throwing that touchdown.
So the Vikings on offense, 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. It's a pitch to McClinton, bounces off a good room there on the outside. Now switches fields, across the 45, room to work. A foot race for McClinton. You can kiss him goodbye. 10-5 touchdown. Another one for McClinton, his 2nd of the ball game. And there is a flag on the play, keep in mind, with 7:05 remaining. Let's see if this is coming back. And it is. So McClinton, we've seen him on a couple nice bursts, plays that could have been touchdowns but being nullified.
And that's the 3rd time we've seen that sweep to the outside and letting McClinton get into the open field. And even though we've said this before, even though it's a penalty, if you're Wood, you're continuing to run that play if McClinton's going to be able to get
and that's got to be troubling to see, Dan, if you're George Curry, even though you see the penalties by the Vikings, but there's so many holes there, especially in the middle of the field, not so much the outsides, but in that A gap there, right where your linebackers are, guys aren't in their spots.
And Wood's not going to continue to give you these penalties. So if you're Berwick, you really have to close up those gaps.
So no touchdown for Jarrett McClendon. Instead, the Vikings backed up 5 yards, 1st and 10 from the 39-yard line of Archbishop Wood. They quickly go up to the ball and set up on offense in a power I formation. It's Messina this time as the tailback. Instead, it's given to the Upman this time.
Ball carried by the upback,
Spayetz. And around the 43-yard line, Kowalski pushes him away from the Berwick half. And still will be 2nd and about 7 yards upcoming for Archbishop Wood.
And McClinton came out on that last play, but he's right back in there again. You won't see him out on the sidelines very often.
Nafis Brown-Carter, the tight end, coming in here, a substitution for Devlin's team of the Vikings. From the 43-yard line. On 2nd down. McClinton, another room, tries to get past Klinger and does successfully. Archbishop Wood, another rushing touchdown.
What an unbelievable cutback by McClinton, cutting right back into the middle of the field. And even though it looked like the defensive backs were able to close in on him, he used that speed, cut right through, and was able to score easily.
A 57-yard TD spurt. You saw him bounce right, bounce left, went back to the outside, and Wood just putting on a clinic on the ground tonight, courtesy of Steve Devlin's team.
And after that 2 plays ago when McClinton scored, but it got called back, you almost figured that he was going to be able to break off a run like that. And if Berwick's not able to stop him, they're going to have a lot of trouble going into the second half.
On for the extra point is McDonald. It is true. And with 6:50 to play in the second quarter from Allentown, it's Wood 28, Berwick 7.
And right now in this game, Jerry McClinton is by far the best player on this field. And if you're Berwick, you have to find some sort of way to be able to contain him.
Yeah, you would expect somebody, whether it's a linebacker out there, somebody to just kind of go one-on-one against him if you can. Now, I know it's hard. You probably can't stop McClinton one-on-one, but you maybe have somebody spot him a little bit more. And I'm sure there is somebody down there that has that job. And
I think the great thing about Jared McClinton is even if you have 2-3 guys doing that, he has so much speed and elusiveness and even power for such a small back, only at 5'8", that he's able to do all these different things. We saw it running the ball, and we also saw it on kick returns.
Kowalski back deep on the near side of the field. Trenholm as well, as McDonald will kick this away for Archbishop Wood. And you see, still noticing, Dan, good body language here from the Bulldogs side, even though they're down 3 touchdowns. And we're early on in action here in Allentown. A quiet fan base here at J. Bernie Crum Stadium. Not so much from the Wood fans, as this one goes way past Spayetz into the end zone, and it will be a touchback, as the Bulldogs will have plenty of room to work with this time.
Berwick takes over 1st and 10 at the 20.
So from the 20-yard line, C.J. Curry comes back onto the field, and like you mentioned minutes ago, Dan, interesting to see if he maybe opts to attempt some spot passes on the play-action fake as opposed to running it on the ground here.
Curry's thrown for over 2,000 yards and over 20 touchdowns this season, so you know he can air it out. And as we saw in their first possession, they can score quickly. So if they can get points on the board before half and go into halftime with more momentum, this could be a game.
So from the shotgun, it's a handoff to Kowalski. Bounces outside, trying to get to the 30-yard line. Met by Gray and company. Appears to be a gain of 10, maybe 11 on the play. And it will be a first down as Kowalski, whose name we haven't called too much on offense. We've seen him be stellar on the defensive side for the Bulldogs. Get involved there on the inside handoff going to the outside, and will be a first down.
And that was really the first good run by Berwick tonight. And let's see if that opens up the gates a little bit for them.
Curry with Kowalski right next to him. On the read option, it is to Kowalski. Singleton tried to bring him down and does. At around the 41-yard line. Gain of 9 on the play, so back-to-back gives to number 21, Kowalski.
Gain of 9 yards brings up 2nd down and 1. Football spotted at the 40.
6 minutes, a turning clock remaining here in Allentown in half number 1 on the NFHS network. We see often in this formation, they start off in the power eye set, and then Curry goes back into the shotgun formation, hands it off to who else? Kowalski. 3rd consecutive time he's got the call. I think forward progress will give him the first down at around the 43-yard line, and it appears that will be the case, a gain of 2. And the chains will move for the Bulldogs, coming in an unblemished 14-0 on the year.
The Bulldogs are doing a much better job right here, moving the ball and moving the chains. Again, I'd like to see a play-action pass from Curry, especially after those 2 long runs by Kowalski.
And we might see that here on first down. Ball just shy of midfield at the 43-yard line of the Bulldogs. It is Curry and Kowalski again in the backfield. Curry keeps it himself. Brought down there by Stengel of Archbishop Wood. Just a gain of a couple there for the Bulldogs. So we see them going to Kowalski. It's either Curry, Kowalski, and we've seen just the one lone touchdown score by Trent Force, the junior, standing at 6 feet tall. And that was a heck of a play, a 96-yard pass play over to Force. On that touch pass that Dan's thinking that C.J. Curry should show a little bit more here. Fake to the outside, Kowalski. Good spin move at the 45-yard line and burst just shy of midfield. Met by Cobb there for Archbishop Wood. And will be third and about 5 yards, maybe 4.
And an attempt at a little misdirection there for the Bulldogs, but Wood doesn't get confused very easily. They're very disciplined, stay within their gaps, and that play was an example of that.
Ball being spotted along the right hash, just shy of the 49-yard line of the Bulldogs. Will be 3rd and 4 for the 49, and a penalty marker comes down by the umpire. Might have too many men on the field here for Berwick. We'll have to check the call. And that appears to be the case. Yep, it is on the Bulldogs. And we'll back the Bulldogs up 5 more yards. And that's a mistake, Dan, that just has to be killing this coaching staff.
And you get into a 3rd and short situation where you're moving the ball pretty well. That penalty is got to be killer.
Yeah, especially when you're down 21 points. Now the clock dips under 4 minutes remaining in half number 1. 28-7 in favor of the defensive team currently, Archbishop Wood. So now it's 3rd and 10 from the 43-yard line of the Bulldogs. And Curry appears that he'll be going through the air this time. Rolls to the near side of the field. Pressure coming. And he stopped. Archbishop Wood coming off the end nicely. That was Gray once more, along with Nafis Brown-Carter. And we'll have to force this Berwick team to punt again in Klinger.
And C.J. Curry had no time to throw that ball. I don't care how good your quarterback is. If you don't protect him and give him a chance to get the ball out of his hands, then you're not going to be able to make plays.
Clinton, the dangerous player with a couple touchdowns in this ball game, back deep for Wood. Spayet's in front of him as well. There's the punt off of Klinger's left foot. It's a good one, a spiraling kick. Handled cleanly by McClinton at the 23. There's a flag on the plays. He's brought down just shy of the 30-yard line. Might be a legal block in the back here.
And it looks like John Hall, the junior from Wood, gave a little block in the back to get to spring McClinton there, so this one's going to probably come back.
Yeah, the flag thrown at the 24-yard line of Archbishop Wood, leading 28-7. Clock stopped momentarily at 2:55 in this contest. Never miss another game. Become a subscriber of the NFHS Network to watch live coverage, game replays, and highlights of high school sports from around the country. NFHSnetwork.com. With Dan Pelberg and our entire broadcast crew, Dave Leno, high atop the field. Great to have you with us for the PIAA AAA state semifinal football matchup between Wood and Berwick. It is 28-7 in favor of Archbishop Wood, trying to go back to the championship match, which will be played next weekend in Hershey at Hershey Park Stadium. Wood backed up all the way to its 14-yard line. Play fake there as Garlick runs out wide. It's Spayetz who will be the ball carrier. Gets a few yards back all the way out to around the 25-yard line.
And now we're under 3 minutes left in the half, and Wood is going to continue to do what they've been doing all half and just eat this clock and try and go into halftime, maybe putting up some more points on the board.
Yeah, now you're just managing the clock here, and you don't want to give the Bulldogs a possession to close out this half. And it's a pitch out wide. It's McClinton. Notice, Danny, serpentines from the right side all the way through that middle, looking for a block from his offensive lineman. That time he was following Jack Kenny. Gain of a couple on the play, 3 yards.
And had it not been for Zach Riddell on the Bulldog side to trip up McClinton, he could have been sprung again on that play.
Gain of 5 brings up 2nd down and 5.
Thies Brown-Carter will come back in on this offensive play here for Wood. 2nd and 5 from the 30-yard line for Garlick and company. Power I set. It's a pitch to McClinton. Again, starting out wide off his left tackle, goes back in, but denied, and making the stop there for Berwick is Kyle Steerley.
And you would think right here Wood is going to let this play clock run down for a while and get it under a minute and a half and then decide what to do on the third down play.
Yeah, and this is a big stop here if you're the Bulldogs, trying to get at least one possession back. Maybe you can get a field goal, get some points on the board. Just 90 seconds remaining here in half number 1. 3rd and 6 from the 29-yard line. And it appears Coach Steve Devlin wants a timeout and does get one here with just 1:22 left on a 3rd and 6 from the 29. And if you're just joining us, we've seen a multitude of blunders on the special team side for the Bulldogs in this matchup. It was Wood who took control early on a McClinton 3-yard touchdown to make it 7-0. Then Trent Force had one through the air courtesy of C.J. Curry. A 96-yard pass play made it 7-7. Spayetz had a 75-yard TD to make it 14-7 Wood. Then there was a fumble on special teams, led to a 1-yard TD burst. 21-7 in favor of Wood, and then fast forward to a 57-yard TD run by McClinton to make it 28-7. That last touchdown occurred just shy of the 7-minute mark, and just 1:22 remaining. Certainly the Bulldogs in trouble here, trying to come up with a stop and get the football back. It will be 3rd and 6 from the 29 for Archbishop Wood. So out of the timeout.
3rd down, 6.
Garlick under center. Clinton behind him.
Inside handoff to 22.
Nothing doing for Archbishop Wood. A good hold there for Berwick, and as a result, a timeout called by George Curry. So 1:14 left, and a chance here to get the football back if you're the Bulldogs.
Berwick calls timeout.
And at 4th and 6, I'm assuming that Wood will punt this away. You're certainly not going to go for it in this situation. I don't see anybody coming on for the special teams unit. That's because Berwick calls a timeout.
Berwick will get this ball back with one timeout and about a minute 14 left in this first half. And interestingly enough, they will also get the ball back after halftime. So if they're able to put some points on the board here, whether it be a field goal or a touchdown, go into half with a little momentum and get that ball right back, things could really turn quickly.
And when you get the football back, let's just already suppose that they do get it here, and they get pretty good field possession, you got to go through the air here. You can't go on the ground, which is something that you've said C.J. Curry does very well, and obviously attests his numbers over 2,000 yards this year.
And with the high school rules where the clock stops after every first down, it's really going to give you a chance to move the ball down the field with not that much time. So a minute 14, although seemingly not a lot of time, is really enough to move that ball.
Yeah, very good point by you. Again, high school rules simulating college, after that first down, clock does stop. Then when the chains get reset, they roll it. So Wood will punt it away.
85 up the Grove, the punt.
Trying to get it to Kowalski off the Untergrove left foot. Goes out just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. And with 1:08 officially remaining in the second quarter, let's see if the Bulldogs can get a few points back here, trailing by 3 touchdowns. So we see Kowalski in there for Berwick, as C.J. Curry and his offensive unit come onto the field. Trenholm out there, the same with Andrew Force. And Densberger, a senior. Force and Densberger line up out wide. Trenholm on the near side of the field. Kowalski in motion. And on 1st and 10, Curry sees an opening. Bounces out towards the edge, and out of bounds, stops the clock wisely, just shy of the 39-yard line with 1:02 left.
Knocked out of bounds by number 6, Jake Cooper, and number 22, Josh Messina.
Cooper and Messina there for a stop from the Archbishop Wood half.
Curry uses a lot of 3-step drops, and when he sees his receivers aren't open, he has the ability to tuck it and run, as he did right there.
1:02 left. 28-7 in favor of Archbishop Wood in the black jerseys. Berwick on offense in the white uniforms. Curry with an empty backfield. On second down, pump fakes. Throws to the outside, looking for force, trying to make the grab. Good defense by Singleton on the far side of the field, and will bring up third down.
And I don't know if that was the best decision by Curry right there. There was safety help over the top for Wood, and kind of throwing into double coverage.
And that was really the first time we've seen that pump and go route. Kind of play that little post outside. Or even just a hitch and go, really. 3rd and 5 from the 39-yard line for the Bulldogs here with 57 seconds remaining here in quarter number 2. Curry again with an empty backfield. Going through the air. Knocked down. Curry stopped again. Justin Rubin coming in there, the same with Lowen, and will be 4th and long and force this Berwick team to punt.
Lowen came in there untouched completely, and once again, if you're not going to give Curry time to throw the ball, he's not going to be able to make a play.
And with 25 seconds left after this Klinger punt, I'm sure Archbishop Wood will be very content going into the locker room up 28-7. There's the punt. McClinton is tripped up at around the 32-yard line. Wenner there for the stop, the senior DB on the special teams unit. 11 ticks remaining here in quarter number 2 in Allentown, as Archbishop Wood likely just run the ball here and expire that clock to go into halftime. And as Dan mentioned, keep in mind the Bulldogs will get it back first in the second half. So it's Garlick under center, Messina in motion, and it's a pitch to McClinton. McClinton is stopped at the 35-yard line by Wenner, and that will do it here, half number 1 in Allentown. It's Archbishop Wood, 28, Berwick 7. Take a timeout, be back for the second half from J. Bernie Crump Stadium in Allentown on the NFHS Network. Welcome back to J. Bernie Crump Stadium in Allentown, Pennsylvania on a frigid 34-degree night with Dan Pelberg, Dave Leno on hand. Great to have you with us on the NFHS Network as Archbishop Wood leads by 3 touchdowns, 28-7 over the Berwick Bulldogs. The Bulldogs will get the football to begin the second half because Wood won the toss and elected to receive in half number 1. Dan, seeing that Berwick's having a multitude of problems, mostly on the special teams unit, going to get the football back, how would you like to see their offense progress here down by these 3 touchdowns?
Well, I'd really like to see CJ Curry, that is, go out and throw the ball down the field. And I hope that George Curry's made some halftime adjustments, again, especially with special teams, as you said, being such a disaster in the first half, that this first drive is going to be very important in terms of momentum if the Bulldogs want to get back into this game.
McDonald will boot this away for Wood in the black jerseys. Berwick conversely in the white uniforms, and back is Talenko on the far side of the field, and his comrade Kowalski at around the 20-yard line as well for George Curry's squad. They'll get the football here, and the second half is underway from Allentown. It's Kowalski, and he's met right away by Chris Gary at around the 27-yard line, and that's where C.J. Curry will come onto the field. Had one nice pass play going for 96 yards to Trent Force. The lone touchdown in this ball game for the Bulldogs as they trail 28-7. So we've seen Curry go a lot to Kowalski, his running back, go through the air looking for Force. Let's see how they begin half number 2. Densberger out wide. Same with Force on the far side of the field. And Curry from the gun. Screen pass in the back. Trent home to the 26-yard line. And a gain of a couple here to begin that first play from scrimmage in half number 2.
And it looked like they wanted to get Trent home out into open space, but he really had no blockers out in front of him, met by a flurry of black jerseys right there.
Loss of 1 yard on the play.
Officially, it's going to go down as a loss of 1 yard, however. Curry goes under center. Single setback is Kowalski. And Kowalski will get the call. Crosses the 35-yard line, still on his feet. A masterful run just shy of the 40-yard line as he's tackled by Chris Gary, the senior for Wood. So nice cuts there by Kowalski, trying to establish this running game. And that's been a forte of George Curry teams. Even though he has a gunslinger who's thrown over 2,000 yards and his grandson, C.J. Curry, you have to establish the run. That's been the M.O. of Curry-style offenses. So no surprise that Kowalski has gotten the ball a couple times here. From the 39-yard line, it's Kowalski again on an inside handoff. Met by Cooper. No gain on the play.
And it looks like Berwick, which they've been trying to do in the first half, is running a type of a read option that hasn't seemed to fool Wood in the least bit. Even when Curry's kept the ball on the QB runs, they really haven't worked out. So I wonder how often they're going to go back to that play.
Yeah, a lot of read options from both of these offenses, really. That's been kind of a signature play, especially when you get to high school ball.
And over the past few years, it's definitely been more in the repertoire of high school teams coming out in Pennsylvania.
2nd and 10 from the 39 for the Bulldogs. Empty backfield for Curry. He's back on one step. Pass was deflected at the line.
Curry's pass is deflected and falls in.
Nice job there by Christian Lowen. Get his right hand over and smack it and just get enough of his fingertips on the pigskin. Will be 3rd and long here for Curry's unit.
And the defensive line for Wood has been very active today. We've seen Lowen in the backfield sacking Curry a couple of times, and there he's hands up deflecting the pass.
Well, this would be certainly a momentum booster for Curry's team. Down 28-7, start of quarter number 3 in Allentown. You got a 3rd and long, and boy, it would do wonders if you can convert here. Densberger goes out wide, forces well. 4 wide receivers on the play. Curry, with some time, floats it over the middle. Pass complete across midfield to the 40, down to the 30, and down to the 25-yard line is Ian Mizanki, the senior, standing at 6'1" with a nice play between the hashes.
Crossing pattern, Mizanki coming right across the middle, and C.J. Curry floating the ball out there again, showing his touch, and allowing his receiver to make the play after the catch, leading him down the field.
Let's see if that revs the engines here. Huge 3rd down pass play. As the ball be spotted just past the 25-yard line, officially at the 23, 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs on the Wood half of the field. Curry from the gun to his left is Kowalski. It is a give to Dane Kowalski. Again, serpentining through the running lane, still on his feet, and at last dragged down there by Wood's Josh Messina. Bit of a 9, maybe 10-yard gain, and it seems that the chains will move, so give him 10 and a 1st down. Nice job by Kowalski.
You can see Kowalski's power, and it comes from his legs. He continues to move his legs through the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd hits. When he gets hit, he's pumping those legs, and as he does that, he's able to move right through them.
Superb job of this Bulldogs team to come out of the locker room on fire here. 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line with the chains set around the 1. Kowalski again. Stopped this time, however, by Singleton.
And another read option that didn't work for George Curry's team, and I just continue to question why he's continuing to call that play.
No gain, 2nd down, 10, football at the 11.
Again, the line the gain is at around the 1-yard line, so couple opportunities to cash in here for the Bulldogs if they played intelligently. Down by 21 points in this contest in the state semifinals. In the other one, it's Cathedral Prep up 28-27 at halftime over Bishop McDevitt. 2nd and 11. Room to work here for Curry's team. And the Bulldogs back on the board. It's Force.
To Ian Mazonki.
Mazonki also there as well. And Berwick gets it done.
Mizanki, the tight end, had a free release right through the middle of the field, and C.J. Curry saw that, takes one-step drop, and just releases the ball right away.
So they hit Mazonki. Force was in there as well. It was Ian Mazonki in the end to make the catch, the senior. And Seeley will come on for the extra point. She has made one in this contest, and she attempts to go 2 of 2 and does successfully with her end-over-end kick. So with 8:26 remaining in the third quarter, Berwick, with its second strike of this ball game, down just 2 touchdowns now, 28-14 to Archbishop Wood.
And that was a huge score for Berwick to come out from halftime and just run the ball right down the field, put points up on the board, and really turn this back into a ball game.
Yeah, George Curry certainly has to love that his unit really came out thinking that, okay, you have a no-score game and just try to put points on the board right here. Don't think that you're down by so many points.
That's really all you can do is come out with the thought that this is our one possession where we need to score.
So Seeley will kick it away over to McClinton. So Wood will try to storm back in the scoring column as well. Seeley will set up at her own 40-yard line. McClinton and Dudkowitz back deep for Archbishop Wood. Spades at the 25-yard line. Gets to the 30. Room to work around the 35. Still on his feet. Cross midfield. At the 30. 20, 15, 10, 5. Archbishop Wood strikes right back in Allentown.
And another special teams blunder for the Bulldogs. And coming out from halftime, you would think that's the one thing that they'd be able to fix in this game.
It's Spades again. At a 75-yard TD in quarter number 1. Gets on the board once more for his Wood Vikings.
And interestingly enough, on that play, you saw McClinton come all the way from back at the goal line to be able to catch up and spring a block for Spades at the end of that run so that he could get into the end zone.
Here's McDonald on for the extra point. And that goes through cleanly. 35-14 in favor of Archbishop Wood. 8:12 remaining in the third quarter, so a shootout so far out of the locker room.
And we saw this in the first half where Berwick scored their first touchdown and Wood came back and with their special teams just got right back on the board. And you see it again right here. So the momentum, as we thought was shifting back into Berwick's hands, is really right back where we started at the end of the first half.
You're watching this game on the NFHS Network. Millions of athletes, thousands of games, one destination, the NFHS Network. We are high school, NFHSnetwork.com, along with our entire broadcast crew. And Dan Pelberg, I'm Dave Leno in our comfy press box. Great to have you with us. A tremendous atmosphere here at the J. Bernie Crum Stadium, which I mentioned before seats about 15,000, and at one time the high school division was regarded as the largest high school football stadium. Not to be the case anymore, but I believe about 3 area high schools play here. We see that all across the state. Multiple high schools, if there's a north, south, east, or west, they share venues. And here, no surprise that a number of schools play on this very field. Short kick taken at the 32 by Kowalski. He's tackled at the 30-yard line, but with forward progress, they are going to give him a 32-yard line spot, and that's where C.J. Curry and company will come back onto the field. So you saw Curry and company go to Mazunki and get the touchdown through the air. Kowalski was getting it done on the running part of the game. what would you rather do, Dan? You play George Curry here. Do you go on the run here on first, second down, or do you go through the air?
Well, I think you use that balanced attack with Kowalski on the ground and C.J. Curry through the air, and I think it was a great balance last drive, so we'll see if they can repeat that.
And Curry with an empty backfield here on first down. Way out wide, and the pass is incomplete at around the 30-yard line, intended for Dallas Arner. Arner also is listed as the backup QB, in fact, on this Berwick squad. And we'll be 2nd and 10 from the 32-yard line, with Wood leading 35-14 over the Bulldogs in the white jerseys with the ball currently. Force lines up out wide, the same with Simmons. Curry again, opts to go out of the gun. Curry with pressure coming, and he has to take the sack just shy of the 21-yard line. And the big man in there, Lowen, comes in for the stop. Martin side by side with him. Nothing C.J. Curry could do. Offensive line not giving him ample time back there in the pocket.
And we've said Lowen's name already a couple times tonight. That's his second sack, and he's also had a pass deflection. And like we said before, the defensive line for Wood is playing very, very well tonight, getting in the face of C.J. Curry.
And as a result, the Bulldogs facing a 3rd and long situation from its 24-yard line. 3rd and 18 for Berwick. And we see Curry opt to continue 3 yards deep. Out of the gun, pressure coming again, swarmed once more. Nafis Brown Carter and Jake Cooper there for a huge stop for Archbishop Wood.
And this will give Wood the ball back in great field position. And you got to think they're going to continue to run the ball right down the throat of Berwick and just eat this clock up in the 3rd quarter.
Klinger will come on to punt this away. Clinton is back deep for Wood. The same with Spayetz.
If I'm Berwick, I might want to punt this one out of bounds and not even risk another special teams blunder.
Yeah, both of those guys have been perilous, no question. There's the left-footed boot by Klinger, end over end. McClinton from the 48. Fake the handoff to Spayetz. McClinton still with the ball across midfield, far side of the field. Flag on the play as he's still running. No matter what happens here, it looks like this is coming back. Boy, look at McClinton go inside the 15. Dragged down just shy of the 10-yard line, but that flag thrown all the way past midfield on the opposite half.
And Berwick's fortunate on a couple of these plays. The score could be much greater than it is right now, but because of these penalties by Wood, it's keeping Berwick in the ballgame.
And these are penalties where, okay, in a close game, they might be head-scratching, but right now, you got to like your team's aggressiveness out there, especially the guys, the upmen that are doing a nice job blocking on the special teams unit, being aggressive and assertive out there.
Absolutely, and I don't think Steve Devlin has really a problem with this. He sees his team trying to spring McClinton for big runs in the kicking game and in the running game, and I think he's okay with that right now as the game stands.
Now with 6:27 remaining in the 3rd quarter at a 35-14 advantage for Wood. It is a holding call against the receiving team, Wood, so we'll back up the Vikings 10 yards. They'll keep the football nonetheless, and they'll operate just shy of the 40-yard line, officially 1st and 10 from the Vikings 39-yard line for Garlick and company. Singleton comes on this offensive play for Coach Devlin's team. McClinton is the tailback here in this power I, now opts to go in motion. Garlick lost the football at the 40-yard line. Berwick says they have it, and no signal yet. It is recovered by the Bulldogs. There's the signal by Robert Gramola, our official for today's contest. And the Bulldogs with a turnover here. They'll get the football back deep in Wood's zone.
And we've seen Wood make a few minor mistakes on penalties, such as holding and blocking the back calls. But this is the real first big mistake that the Vikings have made all night. And we'll see if the Bulldogs can capture on that.
Yeah, they're down 21 points. 1st and 10 from the 40. Play action fake. Curry wants to go through the air. Good coverage there by Kendall Singleton. Curry that time trying to go to his big man down low, A.J. Vandermark, standing at 5'10", 220.
And it sounds like the crowd wanted a flag on that play, but it just looked like that was great coverage by Singleton.
But you got to love the call there and the aggressiveness on that play. We haven't seen too many play action, especially on first down. We've seen them in the game, but those come in mostly on 3rd and long and in situations of that sort.
Yeah, C.J. Curry taking the shot down the field that you'd like to see him do, and it almost worked out for them.
2nd and 10 from the 40. Curry hands it off to Kowalski, but he's met right away immediately by Josh Messina.
Hit immediately by Josh Messina.
And you're seeing a lot of these two-way players. We're calling the same names over and over because when you're an athlete, you're able to play on both sides of the ball, and really you're able to take over a game. And Messina's doing that right now.
Yeah, you got to think almost it's comical that it might be easier for the college guys to only play one way over the NFL guys, but when you're in high school, and all those guys did it when they played at the prep level as well, where some of them playing on 2, even on special teams, 3 sides of the football.
Especially at the 3A level where the schools are smaller, so the athletes that you have to take advantage of all of their skills.
3rd and long, 3rd and 12 from the 42. Curry under center with an empty backfield. Pocket collapsing, has time, and then goes down. There's Chris Gary, the senior, again off that defensive line, comes off the right edge and tackles him for a loss.
And another sack by those defensive linemen for the Vikings, bringing up a 4th down in which the Bulldogs are going to have to punt.
And let's see what George Curry opts to do here with that ball at the 46-yard line on the Vikings half. Will Klinger come out or will they go for it on 4th down? We've seen the Vikings doing wonders on the offensive end. See if he has confidence in his offense here on 4th and long. At 4th and 16, I think I agree with you. You got to punt it, and that's why Klinger comes back onto the field standing just shy of his own 45-yard line. McClinton is back deep. Klinger on a rugby-style punt will get it away off his left foot. It does hit Singleton of Wood, but lucky for Archbishop Wood, it does go out of bounds, and Vikings will get the football.
That was a lucky break because Singleton did not have an eye on that ball. Bounced right back up and hit him, but lucky for Wood, it goes right out of bounds.
So here comes Garlick and company back onto the field again, up 35-14 over Berwick. Be 1st and 10 from the Wood 19-yard line.
Other 3A semifinal, Cathedral Prep leads Bishop McDevitt 34-27.
We just got note that Cathedral Prep is leading Bishop McDevitt, so touchdown ahead, trying to get to the state championship game in Hershey next weekend. As of right now, Archbishop Wood would be the team to play him, but we're certainly not done yet. Spayetz, the ball carrier on that attempt, gets 10 and a 1st down as the ball will be placed at the 30-yard line with 4:26 left in quarter number 3.
And save for that fumble on the last possession, we've seen the Wood offense eat up a lot of clock, and there's about 4 minutes left in this 3rd quarter, and it'll be interesting to see if Wood can continue to hold possession and hold it into the 4th.
Power I formation on 1st and 10 for Garlick. Gives it to the Upman this time. He's across the 40-yard line. Spayetz just shy of that 45 to the 44-yard line. And again, 2 plays for over 10 yards, and the chains move for a 2nd consecutive time.
And even though Jared McClennan has not touched the ball on this drive yet, he's really the one that's opening up the hole in the middle for Spayetz. The defense is really respecting the speed on the outside of McClennan, and that fake is allowing the A-gap to open up and Spayetz to go right down the middle.
And you got to think that George Curry's team told him, hey, we got to watch McClennan. And as you just alluded to, somebody else is going to be open, and it's been Spayetz. Rubin lines up outside, the same with Singleton, the 2 twins to the outside. Looks like Garlick ran into his own fullback there. Spayetz that time trying to hand the ball off to McClinton, and as a result, it's going to go down for a loss.
Immediately.
Something funky happened down there. You saw Garlick's head kind of whip back.
It looked like Garlick may have ran into Spayetz right there as fullback, and lucky enough for Garlick, he didn't lose the football. He was able to keep his composure and hand it off to McClinton.
Lowen comes into the contest. Big number 85 for Archbishop Wood in the black jerseys with the football. 2nd and 11 from the 43-yard line. Garlick under center. It's Spayetz and McClinton in the backfield. It's a pitch over to McClinton. Across the 45, midfield. Now to the 40 and down to the 35-yard line.
Another sweep to the outside to McClinton. Seen that play multiple times today. A couple of them have been called back because of penalties, but even those have gone for big plays. So Steve Devlin's going to continue to call McClinton's number on the outside.
32-yard running play there for McClinton. Is there an advantage, Dan, of when you pitch the ball to someone just parallel to him when a guy's just right in front of you versus throwing it out on the edge on a sweep play?
When you have a guy like McClinton, pitching it to the outside allows him to use his vision to see where the holes are and explode through them.
Play action fake here for Garlick. Plenty of time. Throws off his back foot. Archbishop Wood on the verge of scoring a touchdown, but Jake Cooper lets it fall right through his fingertips.
And you had the feeling that sooner or later Garlick was going to run a play-action pass, and he had a man open, just cannot convert for the touchdown.
Yeah, that's certainly one that Steve Devlin definitely wants back. Second and 10 from the 35-yard line, but a little bit of disparity here. You see Archbishop Wood on those play-action fakes, Dan. You see the offensive line. Good protection there as Garlick rolled out. Different from what we've seen from the Berwick side where when they run play-action fakes, their offensive line having a little bit of trouble allowing the quarterback some time.
And I think the Berwick defense really has to respect the running game of Wood because it's been so powerful in this game.
Second and 10 from the 35-yard line. To give to McClinton. Tries to go up the gut. Vandermark says no, however, for Berwick at the 35.
Third down and long coming up, and we'll see if Wood wants to continue to run the ball or if they want to give Garlick a chance to throw it. Because on that last pass, Garlick threw a pretty nice ball, and you can tell that he has the arm strength to get it done.
Singleton coming out there. The same with Webb, Justin Rubin. So speedy wide receivers splitting out wide. Twins to each side of the field for Garlick. Third and 10 from the 35-yard line. It's actually a wildcat formation of McClinton, and he is tripped up immediately by Vandermark off the edge and will be fourth and long for Archbishop Wood.
And that was interesting, the first time we've seen a wildcat formation right there, and with McClinton taking the direct snap, and I don't think that was fooling anyone really on the Berwick side.
If you're Wood here, and it appears that they're going to go for it, don't you think you would punt it in this situation? Or what do you think?
Well, that depends on how much Steve Devlin trusts his punting unit because, a touchback right here only gives them, 15 yards of better field position on Wood's side. So going forward here, really, if they're able to get it, almost puts the game a little bit more out of reach.
And it looks like Steve Devlin wants to talk things over, and as a result, he's going to call a timeout. 1:15 remaining, 35-14 in favor of Archbishop Wood. You are watching tonight's PIAA AAA state semifinal football action between Wood and Berwick on the NFHS Network. Go to nfhsnetwork.com to watch live coverage, game replays, highlights, and all other action across the state of Pennsylvania and around the country. Dave Leno and Dan Pellberg with you as Archbishop Wood. In our scoring summary, got things started on a 7-0 3-yard TD run by McClinton in the first quarter. Then Trent Force caught a pass to make it 7-7. Lopsided again to the Wood half, 14-7 in favor of a 75-yard TD by Spayetz. He's been a stud. A multitude of special teams errors on the Berwick half caused Wood to go ahead by a couple touchdowns, 21-7, thanks to a 57-yard run by McClinton. Made it 28-7 with 6:50 to go. Mazenke had a TD in this half for Berwick. Spayetz also had one for Wood. That's how we're at this point. And on 4th and long, Curry will go for it, throws off his back foot, and the pass tipped nicely by Andrew Force. Force doing a nice job there as that ball was almost threaded into Justin Rubin's hands.
An interesting play call on 4th down, going for the end zone, and turnover on downs, giving the ball back to Berwick here, and allows them a chance to put some more points on the board and try and get back in it.
Yeah, that's a positive play that you could certainly hope to carry over on this offensive possession for the Bulldogs. With 1:09 remaining in quarter number 3 in Allentown, 35-14. team that's trailing in this contest. Berwick gets the football here, down 3 touchdowns.
And you can see why the Vikings would want to go for it in that situation, because even though they didn't convert, Berwick still has the ball only at the 35-yard line, not that much of a big field difference.
Curry under center, Vandermark in motion, play action fake, goes to the outside. It appears that Singleton hit the wide receiver Schwartz first. Jordan Stout was also out wide. And it will be pass interference. I think this is a good call by Robert Gramola's team.
That's a blatant pass interference right there. You obviously can't run into the receiver before the ball gets there, and this is going to move Berwick down the field.
Officiating crew doing a marvelous job tonight. Keep in mind, it's an honor for, I call them Gramola's team, his crew, to get this game, because officials obviously awarded these contests as the state playoffs proceed, and obviously the crew that did the best this year will get that game over in Hershey in the championship round. Be 1st and 10 from the 49-yard line. Looks like a legal procedure call. Going to be here on Berwick. And sometimes this could be caused by a couple guys going in motion at the same time, or from what I understand, is if you have 2 guys break out wide in motion, then the running back will like to split out wide. There has to be about a 1-second buffer before they can begin their set. 1st and 10 from the 44 here for the Bulldogs. 1:05 remaining. Vandermark in motion. Kowalski again, just shy of midfield. Stride for stride with him was Singleton of Archbishop Wood. Now the clock will dip under 50 seconds, and turning clock, in fact.
And now the clock's becoming a big factor, because under 1 minute left in the third, and down as many points as Berwick is down, they really do have to start thinking about airing the ball out more.
Yeah, it seems that maybe a play will get off here, if that, to culminate quarter number 3 here in Allentown. 2nd and 11 from the 48-yard line for C.J. Curry and crew. 3 wide receivers split to the far side of the field. For Simmons and Vandermark. Pressure coming. Curry's going to go down again.
Curry sacked for a loss by number 6.
Jay Cooper there for the stop on Curry, and that will end quarter number 3 here at J. Bernie Crum Stadium in Allentown, Pennsylvania. 35-14 in favor of Archbishop Wood. We're back for quarter number 4 in just a moment.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Back for quarter number 4 on the FHS Network with Dan Pellberg and our entire broadcast crew. Dave Lennon with you. Great to have you with us on this 34-degree night here in Allentown, Pennsylvania. Saturday evening. Here's this game originally called for a Friday night contest, was postponed due to inclement weather. 3rd and 18 from the 41-yard line to begin quarter number 4 for Curry and Berwick. Curry with time, floats it over the middle, knocked down, however. Tried to look for Bizanki, and instead making the nice play was Lowen. Big number 85, we called his name a multitude of times for Wood. 4th and long for Berwick, deep in their own territory. I think they're going to have to be forced to punt, even though they're down 3 touchdowns.
It's hard to, in any situation, go forward on 4th and 15, and you're right, Dave. It seems that Berwick's going to be punting the ball right here.
So Klinger will come on as a result and punt it away, standing just shy of his 30-yard line. Spayetz to the near side of the field, deep for Wood. Same with McClint on the far side, and the lefty They spiraling kick, gets it over to McClinton. He's tripped up nicely and around the 28-yard line. And back coming onto the field is Tom Garlick, the sophomore, certainly not playing like he's a sophomore for Archbishop Wood.
Garlick very composed, and even though he hasn't thrown the ball much this game, he is managing the game very well, not making very many mistakes, and just keeping Wood on pace for a W.
Wood will operate from its own 28-yard line. And we see Singleton, Rubin, Webb come onto the field. So a few wide receivers here. You would think that maybe Wood with a 3-touchdown cushion would stick to the run. And as a result, you see them in the power I formation. It's given to the Upman. Spayetz. Check that Messina for Archbishop Wood. He gets maybe a yard to the 30-yard line.
And as we said before, Messina, two-way player, playing very well tonight on the defensive end, and also as the up back, getting some carries in spell with McClinton.
No gain, 2nd and 10.
Bulldogs coming in 14-0. Keep that in mind as that lone loss looming here as we have reached the final quarter of play in the state semifinals. And it looks like Cathedral Prep were on their way to the championship. Who will meet them, we'll have to see as McClinton gets it off the sweep outside. And down at the 36-yard line, just a couple yards shy of that first down marker, and the marker currently at the 38. Will be 3rd and short.
36-yard line will bring up a 3rd down and 2 for the Vikings.
And you notice, Dan, that Steve Devlin telling his team, take some time off the clock here. There's certainly no rush at this point in the game.
You can see Garlick coming over to get the play call. As you said, not in any sort of rush, letting the play clock wind down. We're almost under 10 minutes here left in the ball game.
And here's a big stop right here for Berwick. They're going to stack up. 8 in the box. Pitch out to Messina. Tries to get to the 40-yard line. Stopped at the 39. He only needed the 38. It's a 3-yard gain. Just gets enough, and the chains will move, and that all-important clock will tick some more.
And as we talked about with the sweep and that pitch to the outside, it allows your running back to really see where the hole is and decide for himself where he wants to take the ball, whether that's outside or through the middle. And taking that ball up the middle that time allows Wood to get the first down.
Dylan Clayton will come into action for Archbishop Wood. Max Schwartz as well. Clayton will line up at the far side of the field. It's McClinton. Across the 45. Good spin move to midfield. And another first down for Archbishop Wood. Trenholm was there to help out on the stop. And Wood will go back into Bulldog territory at the 49-yard line.
And McClinton continues to have his way with the Bulldog defense, whether it's up the middle or to the outside, breaking tackles, using his speed. You can see his versatility in every facet of the game right now.
So a couple of the backups coming into action here, Dan, is Dylan Clayton back in, Tyrone Dean, Chris Baker, guys who we haven't seen so far. Garlick over to McClinton. He's been the mainstay, gets past the 49, maybe to the 48 for a meager 1-yard gain here on 2nd down. But now the clock rolling, and 3 minutes have gone by as we reach that 9-minute mark here in Allentown. That's all that's left of the regulation between Berwick and Archbishop Wood, with a appearance in the AAA state final. Looming in that contest will be next week against, as of right now, Cathedral Prep. 2nd and 10 for the 49 for Archbishop Wood. Garlick goes to Upman. It's Dean at the 35. Makes one man miss at the 30. Still on his feet to the 25. Dragged down at the 22-yard line. So Tyrone Dean getting some action. Brought down by Densberger.
And as the first downs pile up in this fourth quarter, the time continues to click away for the Vikings.
One guy I'm interested to hear or find out why we haven't called his name too much is Jordan Stout, number 44 for Bulldogs. I don't know if he's hurt or or just not into the personnel schemes in the first or second half of this ball game. But he's a guy that really came in with doing a lot of damage on the ground, over 600 yards, second on this team in touchdowns behind Kowalski. But now that's on the Berwick side, even though they're playing defense. But keep that in mind as this game progresses. 8 minutes left in the contest. It's McClinton across the 20. Goes right through the linebackers all the way to the 15-yard line. Gain of 8 in the play will set up third and short.
On the tackle. Gain of 8 yards will bring up a 2nd down and 2. Football spotted at the 15.
Just a couple more yards to get that first down for Archbishop Wood. McClinton is the running back once more. Again, it's to Dean with that big run. He's going to be stopped. Wood needs to get to 14-yard line to move the chains. But they're doing a nice job keeping this on the ground with Dean and McClinton. Now officially third and short. Huge stop here for the Bulldogs right now when you're trailing 3 touchdowns and you only have 6 minutes and change to work with. On 3rd and 2, it's McClinton. Who else? No, Garlick keeps it himself, reaches for the end zone, and they're going to say he is out of bounds at the 1-yard line. So again, Garlick fakes us out on the option, goes outside, what appeared to be a bootleg there.
And a great play call by Steve Devlin. 3rd and short, and everyone in the building thinking it's McClinton. And by making that fake and allowing Garlick to roll out, it gives him the entire half of the field to just run and try and dive for that end zone. Coming up a little short, but now 1st and goal at the 1 with the ability to punch it in if they can.
Certainly a good thing I'm not out there as a linebacker because I wasn't going to go for Garlick. I thought it was McClinton the whole way. Well, let's see if they'll keep it with Garlick. He already has 1 QB sneak in the contest. This time we'll hand it off to Dean. He walks into the end zone for another Archbishop Wood touchdown.
And just like we saw on previous drives, Wood going and sticking to the ground the whole way, using a combination of Dean, Garlick, and McClinton, able to punch it in.
And it looks like Archbishop Wood, with 6 minutes and 25 seconds left and about to go up 4 touchdowns in this contest, are going to another PIAA AAA state championship contest next week in Hershey.
And you can really see why the Vikings in their past 2 playoff games have been able to open up the score and really kind of shove the ball down to the other team's throat and put up a lot of points.
McDonald bangs it home, 42-14 in favor of Archbishop Wood, coming in with 2 losses on the year to St. Joe's Prep and rival Archbishop Ryan. Well, right here having their number against the Berwick Bulldogs, who have traveled a little over an hour to get here. They're Berwick, in case you're not familiar, close to Hazleton. Hazleton, the hometown of Tampa Bay Rays manager Joe Madden. Playing a little Alex Trebek here, Dan. Won't ask you for anything for 400 or your daily double. But we progress here at 42-14, 6:25 left. Kowalski back deep for Berwick.
For the Vikings.
McDonald will kick this away here, and if you're Berwick, Dan, you're seemingly just going to have to go through the air here when you're down by so many points, 42-14.
And I can't imagine C.J. Curry, the senior, is going to want to give up no matter what the score. So I feel that they're going to still continue to try and throw the ball and make up some points.
Kowalski just shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. So 52 yards the score here for the Bulldogs of Berwick Township High School. C.J. Curry comes back onto the field here. And let's see who he opts to throw to in the air. Obviously has Kowalski in the backfield, but as Dan mentioned, now's the time where you got to get that arm cooking on this cold night. Force will line up to the far side of the field, and the two tight ends sent here with Vandermark and Max Thomas. You think that they're going to run it, and they do with Kowalski.
Ball carried by Kowalski.
And he's knocked away by Gary at midfield.
By number 3, Chris
Almost predictable in the play when you only send out one wide and Force on the far side.
And seeing this Wood defense tonight and seeing why that they're so good is because of their defensive line and their linebacking core, that against the run, they're really able to stand people up, and they tackle very well.
Correction, 2nd down and 7.
So Berwick just a yard into Viking territory from the 49-yard line. It's 2nd and 7 with 5 minutes and 35 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. A sweep outside.
To 25, Nate Machuga.
Machuga getting his first carry of the ball game. Fans wanted a call there. Play will be stopped nonetheless, and about 5 yards short of the line to gain here. 3rd down upcoming for the Bulldogs.
We will bring up a 3rd down and 5.
Yeah, what I've been impressed, Dan, and you've said it, especially with Wood, is just the way they do stack up that box, and in particular the A, not so much like the B gap, but the A gap right in between the hashes there from tackle to tackle. You stick four guys on line. They have a 4-4-3 front. Curry couldn't connect on the outside with Mizanki. Now we'll bring up 4th and 5.
And as we talk about the Wood defense, I think a big part of it is their ability to tackle one-on-one in the open field. And their linebackers have a great ability to wrap up. And you can tell Steve Dellin and his coaching staff do a great job of teaching these kids how to tackle properly and not use their head. And as we talk about with college and the NFL and concussions being such a big deal, it's really important to teach young players how to tackle correctly and use their arms to wrap up.
Very good point, because they're still coaching those fundamentals even at the pro level, and especially with the targeting rule being enforced so much. Certainly something that all these teams have to have an understanding of no matter the level, as C.J. Curry gets the first down on a very long 4th and 5. Will move the chain, so the grandson of the coach gets the call, gets his way. Berwick still with the football with just under 5 to play, but down 42-14 Archbishop Wood. Like the confidence there by Curry despite the lopsided score.
And the senior's not going to give up the ball at this point. He knows this is his team, and he wants to try and put points on the board.
Curry again on the read option, keeps it himself. And he's down at the 35-yard line, a gain of 1 on the play.
Gain of 1 yard to the 35.
Would you say, Dan, that throughout this contest that the read option has been maybe the most often called play out of everything you've seen, or is there something else?
It's been interesting for Berwick because they've used the read option more than you would really think they would, because when Kowalski's just been given a handoff, he's been able to take it very well up the middle, but they've used the read option and not to really much success.
Vandermark across the 30-yard line to the 27, brought down by Singleton. And he's just a couple yards shy of the first down marker. That is just at the 26-yard line. Will be 3rd and short for the Bulldogs. Just 3:25 left in regulation here in Allentown. And the Archbishop Wood fans certainly feeling it here, as they're well on their way to another Hershey Park date and a visit to the famous chocolate world.
And this will be the 3rd one in a row for Wood.
Yeah. Winners in 11, runners-up last year, trying to take home the trophy again. It's a handoff to Kowalski. He is shut down immediately there. Archbishop Woods, Tyrone Dean, who's been a stud offensively, getting it done on the defensive half, and the same with Lachlan as well, 26 for Archbishop Wood. making the play there.
To
240. Left to go here in regulation.
The safety of the cheerleaders and players. Also a reminder to stay off the field at the conclusion of this evening's contest.
2:25 remaining, 42-14 in favor of Wood, the defensive team in the black jerseys. It is 4th and 4 for the 30. Curry on a play-action fake. Has to get to the 26-yard line, not to be, as that will likely be the final offensive possession for the Bulldogs. Be a turnover on downs. Rubin makes the stop for Wood, and as a result, Archbishop Wood gets the football back on offense with 2:10 to work.
And story of the entire day for Curry, being chased down by those linebackers for Wood. A great play by Rubin to get him down in the backfield.
First down.
So the ball will be placed at the 32-yard line on the Vikings half of the field. And back comes Garlick and company. Working with Messina and McClinton. Clinton stopped immediately that time. Gray there for the stop for the Bulldogs. At around the 32, no gain on the play. We'll bring up 2nd and 10, and now the clock officially under 2 minutes to play. So now Wood can just seemingly run out this clock and catapult themselves to the title game in Hershey next week. And just a marvelous performance today, as Dan, you've said it with Archbishop Wood, is they will send in Anthony Russo, the sophomore, to come in. Also listed as a quarterback on this roster. Russo will line up out wide. But they'll stick with the power eye and likely give it to McClinton to run out this clock. Tyrone Dean to the 42-yard line, and now just a minute and change left here in regulation.
And like you said, Dave, you have to be impressed with every facet of the game for Wood on the offensive and defensive side, as well as special teams. They've really played a complete game as they've played in all the playoffs so far.
1 minute remaining.
Just 1 minute left. At the 42-yard line, Garlick will likely just take a knee here. And that's exactly what he will do, with probably one more play to go.
Anthony Russo takes a knee.
Dan Pelberg, it's been fun in this contest. As we see Archbishop Wood take it 42-14, a thrashing result here over the Berwick Bulldogs, who were national champs in 92 and 95. Garlick takes a knee, and that will do it. Archbishop Wood goes to 13-2 on the year. They are back in the PIAA AAA state championship game and on to Hershey, Pennsylvania.